All right, welcome to another review episode or reaction video with me, more with Snumpo. Well, we'll see how it goes. Sorry how it took so long for me to do another video. For those of you who don't know, there is a lot going on and a lot of changes happening here. So I do apologize for not getting out here and making more content. I'm going to try to get a lot better about it. And plus, with mowing season coming up or being here already, I stay pretty busy. So today's reaction is going to be to a motorhome fire, an explosion resulting in a house fire. So thanks to the video, let's see who posted it. It is Stevie Peebles 61. Thanks so much for posting this video. So it's a motorhome that's on fire. Very close exposure to the alpha side of this two-story residence here. So let's go ahead and just kind of size this up here. I don't know if that's a solar. It looks like a solar panel up top. So have fun. If you have to cut, if it runs all the way across, cutting below it, cutting those things would be insane. I would just go to the other side, but most likely it'll be solar panels on the other side too. So let's go ahead and give this a size up. So, so fire control engine 93. Go ahead, engine 93. Engine 93 is on scene, two-story residence. We do have a motorhome that's on fire with the exposure being the residence. We're going to go ahead and pull a line and be an attack. We do not have a water supply. Next engine bring us water. Mark this a working incident. Then we would go in and most likely put this out pretty quickly, hopefully before the next engine arrives. That's going to be our goal. So let's go ahead and see how this is going to play out here. So real quick, let's go ahead and talk about what is inside these mobile homes, these little trailers, these campers. Let's go with the camper right here because I'm pretty sure it's just a camper because I haven't watched this video yet. So we're going to have propane tanks, most likely sitting in the front or the rear. I know for when we camped all the time, that's where the brackets were for those. So the front and rear will have propane tanks. On the inside, what is it made of? We're not going inside on that. It's already rock, and you're not going to go inside anyways. It's made out of vinyl, plastic, and that's it. Those things are trash, like high content of plastic inside. So there's really, and you see how dark this cloud is. This is something that you're going to be pulling up. You're pulling out of the firehouse, and you're going to see the smoke column, and this beautiful scenery back here. Wow. So we have an exposure on the alpha side. So again, let's review this real fast. This is the alpha side. If we go to the left side of the house, not this one, but this house right here, that is going to be the Bravo side. Rear side of the house, the Charlie side. And then right here is the Delta side. So we have the exposure on the alpha side and the also alpha Bravo side of this residence here. So what are we going to be doing as me being the ride-out officer? I know in the last video I did as the engineer, so this one we'll do ride-out officer. After we start hitting this fire and getting it put out, I want my next engine to go inside and search this area, inside of the residence. I want to make sure that there's no fire impingement. Definitely check up in the attic because we can see some smoke pushing right over here. Is it up in the attic space already? Is it, just the smoke that's just pushing off from the camper? I think it's just the smoke pushing off the camper, but then again, I've not seen this video, so I don't know. But we're going to check this exposure here to make sure, because this thing could have been going just for a few minutes before. Remember, it's all plastics and vinyl and crap in this, so it's going to go up pretty fast.
Get up, on the spot! Stand your back, jump.
Cute little toot they got there. Oh, okay. So you see right here, guys? By the time the engine's pulling up, we've already got fire coming out of the soffit right here. Because it's direct fire impingement right on this. Remember that. Direct fire impingement on the alpha side of the house up into the roof. So once it gets into the roof, that's going to be pushing. Because what do you have inside of underneath your roof? What do you have? You have insulation, and you have really nice dry lumber in there for it to burn. So you noticed I'm assuming she was the engineer or something wearing a mask. If you're on a fire scene, take your damn mask off. That's not, I don't care what your politics are, but if you're going to be sitting there, you're going to be putting a jock strap on your face and expect to do the same amount of work without getting out of breath. Just take the damn mask off. I mean, this was probably last year or whatever. I didn't check the date.
It's got eaves in it. And it goes in the roof window, that's the problem.
Oh God! Look how protected they are. I'm betting you guys understand my politics on this. If you're on a fire scene and your department's still making you wear masks, I'm not telling you to go against policy, but I know what I would do is I'd take the damn thing off, and then they could write me up later for it. But thank God we don't have that policy anymore. Looks like 3-inch line. 2.5.
Thanks for the neighbours. Sorry?
Monday smashed the
Bye.
back.
For the heat. For the bang that.
All the heat.
Alright.
Oh,
Look at it, got up there.
Okay, so I'm not going to be critiquing what they're doing, but I'm going to be telling you what I would be doing. Rolling up, I'm going to be expecting that this roof is going to go here shortly. I'm going to expect that. So I'm not getting off with no pack. I'm getting off with a pack on because I'm aggressive as shit, and I want to make sure that we're going to be the first ones inside. Once we start knocking down that camper and get that thing mainly extinguished, we're either getting a ladder, cutting a hole, and fighting fire on that end, or going into the second floor, opening it up, and starting to spray the shit out. I'm going to be wearing a pack so that way I can go right inside because I don't want to miss out on doing some work. But as you see here, I haven't seen anybody wearing a pack unless I missed it. But they haven't seen that there's at least some type of fire getting into the attic space, and you can kind of see because it's pushing out over here. You see that.
See the white smoke? So that's the main.
Okay. All right. You see that stream they had going on? That's pissing on it. Come on. All right, guys. I get it. I don't understand. It looks like they have a 1-inch line. That's some bullshit. Get that out of here. For me, I'm not. All right. I'm 6 foot, 250 pounds. So for me, working with a deuce and a half, I'm not pulling it through a house. And if you guys have ever pulled deuce and a half through a house, it is hard. And when it is full of water, it is so heavy and it's hard. And it's not practical most of the time, depending on what material is burning. What is your fire load? For a camper, one of my first line, if it's a camper like that, I'm just going to pull deuce and a half because, for one, I don't want to be there for, 10 minutes longer putting water on it when I can be going inside it. I can get a deuce and a half out, have them, as long as we have a water supply, knock that shit down pretty quickly, and my chauffeur pulling 1 3/4 inches for that next apparatus, and hopefully by that time the apparatus gets there, we're the ones grabbing that line and going inside. I'm all about, what's the most effective, efficient way. For most crews, if you can't, if you guys are, not real big on deuce and a halves or 2-inch lines, and depending on what nozzle you have and depending on your hose, it could be easier to manipulate and move and advance with it. But if you guys aren't comfortable with it, don't do it. Stick with your 1 3/4 or 1.5 inch lines or whatever you've got. But for me, I know for that specific situation, I'd like to use a deuce and a half just to knock it out big time. But it looks like they've got like a 1-inch line. That is small, and that's not going to do anything for that for a while. And that's going to just make it worse up into the attic space here.
Get the contrast with 2 lumps of smoke.
It's a good one, Phil. I'm joking, but I'm straight.
Thing is, there might be the roughest gas in the house as well.
That's what I'm saying, I'm going to stop the gas.
Yeah, it's like a 1.5 inch line and a 1 inch head. It's like a garden hose.
Take a hell of a job trying to get that caravan in it. Yep.
Okay, so what color is this smoke up here, guys? Go ahead and kind of, if you want to pause the video and look at it real quick, see what kind of colors we got going on here. But I'm going to let you do that. And then now I'm going to talk. First off, good Lord, look at that scenery. Like, all right, if I was an engineer pumping this, I'm like, this is gorgeous, except for the fact that there's, kind of screwing this part up. But this is gorgeous right here. I'm in Indiana, so we don't have a whole lot of this here. We don't have any of this, actually, to be honest. All right, so let's go and move it a little bit. Okay, so now here's some of the colors. Wow, we got some really dark colors here. That's, you know how much is polluting the skies? We're going to be killing the birds. No, forget the birds. We have got so much material and carbon in here. That is just a ton of stuff, and they're just, putting a fucking garden hose on it. Sorry for the language. But we got some white, brownish smoke coming out from here. So what does that tell you? That tells you that there's some wood burning in there. And I believe it looks like, I can't tell if these are the clay roofing tiles, or I can't honestly tell. It's kind of hard for me to see. But honestly, I don't know what color that would burn. Most likely the color of whatever they were painted as. So I would say if it's like I think this one was more of an orangish brown. So I'd say you'd see that more of a color. But we're here seeing kind of more of a brownish color. You guys kind of type in the comments what you see here and what you think is happening. But definitely there's fire going on in that attic. We need to get a line in there. We need to be getting a line right now. Either through the back door, if they're comfortable enough with going through the front door. There's a guy spraying a garden hose on this thing right here. And then we got a guy with another garden hose kind of just spraying randomly over here. It seems like they've already marked this house off. Like, this thing's going to burn down, boys. Let's go ahead and spray down everything else around it. Would you look at that?
These things work.
There's no gas stop.
she's got the mask off, she got smart.
Well, look at it. See, the ports and everything's right underneath it. I'm saying the wood spot, so just yeah, look at the gutter all melted at the side as well. Front window. See below the porch, it looks like in the middle of the long house is on fire big time. Looks like the whole house is going. Of course, there you go.
So it seems as though they have taken defensive measures, because you saw a few lines out here. It looks like they're getting a ram nozzle set up to start spraying at. I'm not going to be a jerk to these guys, because obviously I don't know what their protocols are. I don't know what they're used to. I don't know anything about this department. But you're not going to put the fire out if there is an obstacle in the way. If there's an obstacle in the way, you're not going to knock the fire out here. So you're going to have to make a hole, remove a piece of the obstacle, and then spray inside the hole. That's typically how it works. But I don't know their protocols. I don't know, don't know this department. I don't know if this is, something they normally get, fires like this, and then this is their procedure, or, if they never get fires, so they're just not, I don't know. We're not going to sit here and Monday night quarterback this thing, which, by the way, I don't watch sports, so I don't know if it's armchair quarterback or Monday night quarterback. Do they still have Monday night quarterbacks? Monday night football? I don't think they do. Looks like we got our safety chief here. Hey guys, your little European helmets, make sure they working, okay? With the little bicycle lid on. Hey, can we go inside, chief? No, it's too dangerous. Too dangerous. We're gonna stay outside. I don't know why I'm doing a New York accent. All right, see this stream right here that we just had? Okay, I'm an engineer, so and I'm not like a math engineer. I'm a driver engineer, so that's a lot different than the other engineers. But if I'm the ride out, or I'm the engineer pumping this, and I see a stream like that, for one, I'm just gonna walk over there and just be like, hey, how much of that fire you think you're impinging on? And then if somebody says, oh, well, you need a fog to kind of make more of an area. Well, you need impingement more than you need more of the mass area. That's just, my opinion. And I'm not, I'm considered a professional, but am I a professional? I really don't know. I don't get a ton of fires, but I also have used a garden hose before, and I understand that if I'm putting out a fire, I need impingement. I need pressure more than I need the mass space. So, he might change it here in a second. Hopefully he does. Go ahead and spin that to the right. Make your stream more of a straighter stream. Now, for those of you who don't know, which, by the way, Cody Brown, thanks for commenting on the last video, dude. I appreciate that, and I'm sorry it's taking so long to make another video. But when I'm talking about, a fog stream versus a straight stream, this is more of a straight stream, but you see how the water is already breaking. Let's say he's about maybe he's right here. That's maybe 8 to 10 feet. From where he's standing. He's probably let's say he's European, so he's probably between the height of 5'5" and 6'2". So let's say he's in that range. This is only getting to be 8 feet, and it's already breaking. You can see it breaking right there, and that's not doing anything. Like a legit garden hose, you need pressure on that 1-inch line that they're using, and this is just too much of a fog stream. So when a fog stream is when you're using a garden hose, and you have that real wide pattern, you are not doing any justice to that fire for impinging on it to put it out. You can use that pattern if you are wanting to do some ventilation in a room. You put the nozzle next, if you're inside, you put the nozzle next to the window, you open it up and you spray it, and the draft effect that it causes, it pulls the smoke out, and it's kind of cool to watch. But you know, I've not actually done it on a fire, but I've trained with it. I think it's kind of cool. I would just rather set up fans and stuff, but hopefully he switches that to a straighter stream. So if he's using a ram nozzle, most likely a 2.5 inch supply, maybe even a 3-inch, that'll get some good impingement. But still, we have to open this up. We have to get a hole cut. I mean, there's nothing showing that there's any breakthrough in the roof. And I understand that there's solar panels up here, but you can still make holes somewhere else.
Oh yeah, still be in it. Bit of dark smoke coming out the east. Look at the roof sagging now, sir. That means the eaves are collapsed.
All right, so you see here how it's kind of bending in right there? It's getting soft. That means that there is some heat right there, and it's losing stability. So if you are on the ladder, which I was only on the ladder for about a year, and then I got moved to an engine. But I noticed that if it's sagging, you probably don't want to walk on it. And plus, when working construction, I realized that after I fell through a piece of plywood that was on a roof. Thank God there was a second floor there. But I realized that after I fell through and smoked my face on the 2x4 framing piece. So yeah, you don't want to walk on that. If they had a ladder truck, which I'm assuming that there's a ladder there somewhere, I know that when that engine drove by, there were some ladders up top, but they need to be getting somebody inside. And that's what I would do as, you know, if I'm a ride out, we're working on that trailer. We're not using a 1-inch line. We're using 1 3/4 or 2.5. I'd prefer 2.5 while my chauffeur gets an 1 3/4 ready to go for the inside. And then we're going to drop that line. We're going to go move right on inside now. Now, let's say with if I've got a brand new guy on my engine, which I got a newer guy now, he does pretty decent. I would probably just stick with an 1 3/4 line. You also got to remember, you know, who do you have on your crew? Do you have a guy who's, you know, not really hitting the gym? He's not exercising a whole lot. Deuce and F's probably not going to be your bet. You're going to probably want to go with a lighter line, an easier, more maneuverable line. So go right on inside and start doing an interior attack on this thing. But you kind of already saw these guys had their minds made up when they pulled up on scene. They didn't even have packs on. So, I mean, this guy's behind the 8 ball right here. Him and his ski. Gal. Oh God, you changed the angle on it. Okay. Well, I'll try to flip the angle in post-production here. So,
Absolutely. Didn't stay wrong, did it?
thank God, safety. He's got his mask on. Thank God. All right, they still got that line. Wait till you can't back. God, it's Look at the sky. Blue. All right, so you see right here with that, that's it's still more of a fog stream. That's not doing anything. That's not, you want to cool the roof down. No, no, you need impingement. We need to make a hole. We need to get inside and start attacking this from the inside. This is already going to, this house is going to go. They marked this house off once they pulled up on scene, but hey, at least they got a beautiful view behind them while they watch this house burn to the ground. So for those who are not firefighters, you can also leave a ram nozzle unmanned, meaning somebody does not have to be there. I know for our ram nozzle, we have an Elkhart brass ram nozzle. It's got it's got these little legs that come out, they flip out, they got little tiny spikes on them. You stick that into the ground. If it's a softer surface, it sticks right in. And then you have this little piece of webbing. It's probably about 4 or 5 feet long. You extend that out in front of it, and you can take like a Halligan or a pike, but typically a Halligan works best. And you stick that, it's got a little hole at the end, like a little loop, and you stretch it all the way out, and you stick the pike in, this like the pointy part, you stick that into the ground, so that way it kind of holds it in place while it is spraying, so it's not flying around and moving back from where you first placed it. So you can do that, but also with it not being manned, you're going to have, like they got the fog stream on there. Just move that to a straight stream. And you see how the stream's breaking up right here? So nice and tight, just for only maybe 3 feet. Then it's breaking apart already. Is that doing anything up here? Is that getting any impingement? You got to think about that stuff. As you're spraying, you might need more pressure. You might have the wrong coupling for the hose to your nozzle. You have to have that inner diameter for that hose on the inside and the proper nozzle to get the best flow. There was a podcast I did on this with Andy Plofkin. You'll have to check it out. Andy Plofkin Fire. I can't remember which episode it was, but just go back through More with Stumpo. Look it on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. I mean, anywhere podcasts are found, and go listen to him. And he actually talks about this for a little bit. And he talks about the couplings between the nozzle and the hose couplings. It's very interesting. It's a lot of big words he uses, and I was really struggling to keep up, but I did. All right, so you see how much there's sagging right here in this roof. So must have made a hole somehow, and they just surrounded and drowned, boys. All right, well, cancel that. Well, that was just great, wasn't it? So things that I would have done differently on this, just look at the end of that. Okay, so no one made entry on the inside. I know for me, I mean, would you make entry on this? I know I would. I know I would make entry on this in the beginning, and then I'd go inside and I'd make an interior attack, and especially open up some holes on the second floor. Go and impinge into the attic. If I could find an attic access, and just crawl up in there and start spraying around. Would you cut a hole on that? Well, is that the clay tiles right there? And how are you going to do that? You're going to take a sledgehammer up there with you and break them up, and then cut a hole through the plywood. So, a lot of things to talk about on this one. Could it have gone differently? Of course it had, but also we don't know that department's protocols. Main Street home fire explosion resulting in house fire. I wonder if he put. Wow, Billy, great idea. Okay, these are people who are not firemen. Nice camera work. It's all right. Well done, lads. Got water onto the fire in under a minute. Yeah. Oh, they kind of let it watch and burn. They did. Oh my gosh. All right. People don't understand, which is okay, but we don't know this department's protocols. We don't know if their chief was mad at them for making interior attacks. We don't know if, during this COVID time, because this was, last year, that they were told you cannot go inside because there might be COVID in the house. So we have no idea, but I just know what I would have done. And it's a little bit different. So let's go ahead and find another video. All right. Is charging batteries dangerous? Thank you to AutoFun. This is his video. So it seems like it's just going to be a charging station, most likely for a Tesla. Woo, Tesla, yay. And it's going to be catching on fire. Well, charging batteries, anything's dangerous if you do too much of it. Drinking too much water is dangerous and it can drown you. So yeah, anything's dangerous. So let's go ahead and see what goes on here. So I'm going to pull up. Let's say I'm still the ride-out officer. I pull up to this and I say fire control, engine 93. They say engine 93, go ahead. Engine 93 is on scene, 2-story residence. We do have smoke showing from the garage. Go ahead and mark this a working incident. We're going to be attacked. And next engine, bring me a water supply. Or most likely there'll be a water supply. You're pretty close. Yeah. I'm going to be pulling an 1 3/4 line. What am I going to be doing? I'm not going to mess with that garage door yet, but I got a big window right here. Am I going to stand at that window the whole time and spray inside? Probably not. But as we're forcing this door in, because I'd rather just get in and get water on the fire pretty quickly, I would have my guy pull out the line. Hey, take this window out, start spraying in it while we force this door open. But it looks like, I can't tell if that's a door right there that's already open. And he's just so... If he's already got that door open, and most likely the garage door from the inside to the house is open, what's going to be happening? He is giving it so much air, more oxygen, please. And that's going to be feeding that fire. You can tell that he's already got this cracked open. And that is feeding it as well. So it's going to be kind of pushing, and then you got a nice thick black smoke. So what do we have in garages? We have gas cans in garages. We've got plenty of tools in the garage. We might have a couple of cans of oil in the garage. We've got cars in there. So we've got plenty of product in here for it to burn. We got rags. We got all sorts of things. So he's already got those doors open for us. So, you walk by, you spray a little bit in here, kind of do a little bit of damage, might barely do any, and you just move on inside and you're going to start attacking from the other side. Because what are we marking off right now that is just a bunch of damage? The garage. What else can we save right now? The rest of the house. Is it going to be worth it? We'll see.
Oh, you can't.
Yeah, I wouldn't risk it, man. Whatever you have in there.
No one's in the house. Yeah.
Yeah, we got everybody's out. Cars out, yeah.
Everything's out. Everyone
Yeah, but
get
cars
out.
in there, so we have to get away from the house.
I see it start right away and I came to run.
I just don't know what started it. I was charging a battery and I think it lost control. God, please stop.
That was the water heater. The water came out. That was the water heater.
Hey, ¿alguien está en tu casa? No, ¿alguien está en tu casa? Oye, no, vos, señora. Hay tanques de propane allí, man, van a explotar, man.
Yeah.
Way to get some water on the fire. That stream's not making it there, dear. That's okay. But at least we appreciate the effort. Thank you so much for the effort.
Does she live there?
No, but I'm telling you.
Yeah, I hear him already. I hear the fire
I'm not
department.
going to lie. If I pulled up on scene, I'd say, thanks for watering the grass. We'll take it from here. All right, so we got a good amount of fire right here. Look at that. There is so much going on inside of here. So my size up is now changed. It is rocking back there.
Hey, señora.
So let's wait until the apparatus gets here, and then I will give you my size up.
That car is... Something's gotta give, man.
Something's gonna give. Yes, it is, man. Matty J. All right. As we're pulling up, I'm going to be hitting up on dispatch. I don't know how long they're going to take to respond. Fire control engine 93. Go ahead, Engine 93. Engine 93 is on scene, 2-story residence. We do have fire showing from the garage. We're going to mark this a working incident. We're going to be attacked. We'll need a water supply. Now, let's just pretend there's a hydrant right here. It'd be perfect it was right here, but no. It'd be perfect to have, and it'd be nice to have a hydrant right here. You know, let's say it's right there. I'm going to be telling my engineer, get the deck gun out. The deck gun, for those who don't know, sits on top of the fire truck. It sprays out 1,000 gallons per minute, depending on what nozzle you have on it or what tip you have on it. About 1,000 gallons per minute. So if you have a 500-gallon tank, roughly 30 seconds, okay, of water. So which is why you want to make sure you have a water supply right nearby. I'm going to be telling him to pull that, and I'm going to pull a deuce and a half. Now, some of you might say, you can't spray that much water coming out from a hydrant and then pushing out from your discharges. Yes, you can. And if you don't have enough water supply, you don't have enough water, I do apologize for that part. If you don't have enough water coming in to put just on for a 5-inch, or if your truck's not capable of doing it, or if you don't even know if your truck's capable of doing it, go out and give it a shot. Go out and give it a try. You know, hook up to a hydrant, spray your master stream, and pull off a few lines. See where you're at. As the engineer, you need to know what your limits are on your engine. I know what my limits are on my engine, and it has impressed me with how many lines I have had pulled off while also having a little bit of residual pressure left, and sometimes being in the negatives. And I can dive into that in another video some other time. Okay, so let's talk about placement real quick. Me as the engineer, or as the ride out, I'd have him pull up just a little bit more. If I was driving, I'd be nosing up to about right here, lined up right here. Reason being is we have a ladder that's coming in from behind us. And you see the way the smoke is blowing? That ladder is going to be right in the way of that smoke. I'd want to make sure that they're going to be a little bit out of that smoke. And also, if there's a hydrant closer to this side, back towards where this guy's standing, I'd want him closer to that. That way he can get to that hydrant faster. And then I'm going to have him spray directly into this whole area right here. And then right, because you see a lot of it coming out over here, I want a mass area right there. And then we'd be working our way inside. Again, you know, not critiquing, you're not making fun. From a distance, hey, if you got a lot of heat and it's pushing you back that far, great. Then, you know, keep whatever you make you feel safe, but also we have a job to do. Get up a little bit closer, and you don't want to stand directly in front. You know, what's going to happen if there's an explosion on the inside? It's going to come out where there's the least amount of, you know, resistance. So don't stand directly in front of it. Stand over into this corner right here. This is okay, you know, alpha side, you know, got it. And it doesn't really change once it comes to like in an extended garage area like this. It doesn't say now this is Bravo, then this is Alpha, then that is Bravo. This is all just Alpha side. Let's just go ahead and mark that. And it's always, I didn't explain this earlier, it is the address side of the house, which is the Alpha side. And if you can't really tell, because there's some places that you can't tell, whoever the first engine is they can mark it as this will be, you know, let's say this is Main Street. Main Street Alpha side. So you can talk about that. See, I like to do a massive amount of damage as fast as possible. They've got a water supply. So since they've got a water supply, I'd be hitting up my 5-inch master stream, and they might not even have one. I don't know. I mean, this engine might be like, hey, it's out of service, man. We don't have one. But I know mine's not out of service, and I know that I'd be getting mine set up, and I'm like, I'm going to do some damage to this thing because I want to make sure that we get this thing put out fast as we can, so that way other engines don't have any work to do because I want to do all the work. This is what we needed in that last video. Look at homeboy up here. Man, he was up in the attic doing some drugs. No, I don't know what he was doing. This is what we needed at that last fire. Throwing a ladder up there, getting ready. Nice placement for that ladder. And we got a guy getting the steel saw ready to go up there. Getting it started before you're walking up, right? Don't start it while you're up there.
The whole house was pretty much destroyed.
Nice mustache, bro.
And they had to really demolish it. Exactly like I said, what happened.
All right, so this was his video. So good job for the crews getting it going. They lost the basketball goal. They can't do no hoops, but great job by them. You know, this is all about just, you know, wanting to learn and do better. So hopefully this video has helped you guys out. I'm going to try to do more of these. If you want me to do more of these, let me know down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Give me your opinions. You know, if I'm being too harsh on anybody, if I'm not being harsh enough, what else would you guys want me to talk about? I'm going to try to do some ride-out officer ones, and I'm going to try to do some engineer ones. So I really hope that you guys enjoy these videos. I know I'm enjoying it. So just, again, let me know down in the comments below. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week.